Hi everybody and welcome to Budget with Tiffany. I'm Tiffany. I'm so excited to have you here today. Happy Friday, well, at least for me. I guess it'll be Sunday for you, so happy Sunday. I am feeling much better. Still got a little bit of like stuffy nose occasionally, but definitely feeling way better. End up being able to take the last 3 days off between bereavement leave and just being sick. So that's been really nice to just get a chance to kind of rest and take care of myself and everything. So actually before I jump in, I should tell you what I'm doing. So I am going to be doing my weekly reset where I unstuff all my expenses from the week before that were charged to our credit cards, and then cash stuff for the next week. And this one, I'm actually also going to be doing my Etsy payout. This is the money that I received mostly for what I earned in March. I think there was maybe like a few days in April, since I only get paid out once a month. So let me jump into my spending. Had quite a bit of spending, partly because we were trying to get groceries and all that stuff after our trip, and just a couple other things still related to our trip, and then being sick and everything. So let me start out in my variable expense finder. So up first, last night for eating out, I felt okay to make food the last couple nights, but just last night I didn't really feel like making anything, and DJ was at a track meet, so I ordered some pizza and a salad. So it was $64.13. So I'm going to take out 64. So I've got 100. So 100 minus 64 is 36. So 20, 35, 36. So we got 50, 70, 80, 95, 96. And usually never regret ordering out, especially when you're sick. So it was well worth it. And we usually get like two, they don't really do like small, medium, large. It's like a 10-inch pizza, 12-inch pizza, and then like some other larger ones. So we usually get the 12-inch because it comes like thin crust, and they cut it into like the squares instead of the triangle pieces. And DJ likes that pizza, and I've actually learned to really like it. And usually if we each have it for dinner, then it usually lasts us like for one more meal, and sometimes like we'll pick at it. So like I had some for lunch today, and DJ had a couple pieces when he got home from his track meet last night. For groceries, it was a bit of a whirlwind this week. So I went to the co-op and picked up a couple things that I couldn't get at other grocery stores. So that was actually the last place I went to, but when I was taking it off of You Need a Budget, it was early on in the list, so it got put on here first. Spent $39.78 at Aldi. So I did get a Costco membership, and so I went to Costco and I bought $64.76 worth of groceries. I bought like this huge thing of kimchi because I really like kimchi, but I don't particularly like this one. It's not my favorite, so I don't know that I'll get it again, but it's decent. And then I bought some protein powder because I was wanting to see about maybe putting it in my oatmeal in the morning to give myself a little extra protein. But when I ate it the first morning, I didn't like it, so I actually returned it today, which you'll see later on. And then I also bought some like blueberries, and there might have been something else I can't remember, but so I don't know how much groceries I'll really get at Costco. It'll probably mostly be to like stock up on like toiletry, household stuff, and then gas. So I had mentioned before we went on our trip that originally we weren't sure where we were staying on our trip, whether we were in a hotel, whether we were gonna have like breakfast and whatever. So DJ and I were both just gonna take like some granola bars. So I bought some RX protein bars to take with me to have for breakfast. Well, then the place we ended up staying, thankfully we knew before we left, had free breakfast. So I pretty much just ate breakfast there most of the mornings. So I just returned the bars to Cub because I didn't really think I would end up eating them. So got a return of $8.99. And then I returned that protein powder today. So it was $68.56 that we need to take out. So 50, actually let me do 70 and just take back one. So we got 50, 60, 70, 82, 84, 85, 86. Yes, that's correct. And the only other thing I had in here was I picked up some distilled water at Aldi for $2.70. So I'm going to take out $3. So we got $50, $65 in spending. And then in our home binder, mostly everything is from Home Miscellaneous. So with being sick and I knew we were almost out of Kleenex, I bought a thing of Kleenex at Aldi, but it's just like 2-ply, really cheap, so I hate them. So I bought, I went to Costco today to return that protein powder. So I bought some regular like name brand Kleenex that are like 3-ply and soft and stuff. So my nose is, I mean, my nose always gets really sore when I'm sick because you're blowing it so much, but like it was even worse because of using the cheaper toilet Kleenex and stuff. And then while I was at Costco the first time, I bought the huge thing of toilet paper. So because it's just the two of us, we're probably not gonna need toilet paper for like 6 months. So it was $34.87 for the toilet paper, and I also bought some more dryer sheets. And then I mentioned buying the good Kleenex at Costco for $17.87. And then at Home Depot today, while I was out, I needed to get air filters for our furnace. I bought, we have like it's a towel bar in our bathroom. It's for DJ's towel, and the drywall anchor that goes in and then you put the screw into it keeps coming loose a little bit more, the screw than the anchor. So I think like if I put a different anchor in there and put a different screw into it, it'll solve that problem, or at least I'm hoping. So I bought a package of different sized anchors, and then I also bought a new screwdriver that has different screwdriver heads. It's so stupid. The only reason I need this is after we painted my office, I had bought new hinges to put on the door, and one of the screws that's holding on one of the hinges, instead of just being a traditional either Phillips or flathead screw, is like a 6-sided star screw, and we don't have a screwdriver for that, and like DJ's parents don't have a screwdriver for that. So I found a screwdriver that comes with like different heads, and it had the screwdriver, like that 6-pointed star screw in a couple different sizes. So I was like, let me just go ahead and buy this. So it was $46.12. So it was end up being $100.15. So I'm just gonna take out 100. So we got 100, 200, 300, 350, 70, 90, 597. So 397. It was kind of funny how with all of the different things that I bought, that it ended up basically coming out to be $100. Okay, and then for pets, I bought some dry food for the kitties for $20.58, so $21, so 50, 70, 80, 95. Okay. And then we had a bunch of different things in our longer term sinking funds binder. Last night, DJ had their second track meet. So he picked up some snacks for the kids at Aldi last night before he went to the meet. So it was $18.03. So I'm gonna take 20, give myself back 2. So we got 100, 200, 300, 400, 5, 7, 9. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 409. I can't remember if I'd said 400 or 500. Health, I picked up, so I'm still pretty sure my sickness this last week was just all sinus stuff. I took 3 different COVID tests and all of them said negative, and usually I only get headaches if it's sinus, so I'm pretty sure it was just sinus. But so I picked up some more sinus medicine because we were almost out of what we already had at CVS early in the week. So that was $9.79. So I'm gonna round up to 10. So just got 20 and I'll take a 10. So I got 100, 200, 300, and 15. DJ used up most of the rest of the NyQuil because he was using that to like sleep or help him sleep. And so I'll probably need to pick up some more of that soon. Out of opportunities, I mentioned that I signed up for the Costco membership, so I took the $65 out of our opportunities fund. So I've got 100 and I'll take, I think it should be 35. Yep, so 20, 35. So we got 50 or 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, and 35. Yeah, it looks like obviously the gas keeps fluctuating so much right now, but like right when we got home, our gas was like $3.27 to $3.30 something, just depending on where you went to and then like over like the course of like a couple days. But at Costco, it was like $2.73. So it's definitely a decent different savings. And I don't fill up my gas tank enough to probably get as much of a savings out of it, but DJ obviously drives a lot more, so he'll get a lot more savings out of it. And it was definitely a lot cheaper gas-wise than what we were seeing out in California, because it was like $5, $6 out in California, so it was crazy. So toiletries, we had, so while I was at Costco, I bought 5 packs of toothpaste, so $18.52, which will probably last us probably like 8-9 months. I don't know. Never really keep track of how long it takes us to go through a whole tube of toothpaste, but probably like 6 to 8 months. And then they have the floss that we like to use, and they have it in like a 6-pack. So I bought that today. So $16.34. So it was $34.86. So I'm gonna take 35. So I got 40, and I'll give myself back 5. So I got $56. And then for travel, the only thing we had remaining was our car rental did come through. It was $354.17. So I've got 500 and $70 minus $354. So get back $216. So 100, 200, 5, 10, 15, 16. So 100, 200, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 200, 25, 35, 36, 37. So $4,237. That is it in that binder. The only other binder that I spent anything was out of the business binder. So for materials, I bought a couple images on Etsy today to make a few new savings challenges. It was $10.40. So I'm just gonna round that down to not $10. So I'm gonna take back 90. So I got $90 in materials. And actually I noticed that one of them that I ordered or that I bought was very similar to an image that Kim from Budgeting with Kim had just put out a new product using, and I was like, oh no, I just bought that. And so I reached out to her and I was like, do you have a problem if I put out a challenge that uses that, like a very similar image? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. So very sweet of her. I'm like, you know, if somebody asked me, I, you know, have absolutely no problem with it, but I didn't want to like step on her toes or think I was like stealing her idea or anything. So it was super sweet. And then on Etsy earlier in the week, I bought, I mentioned recently, I can't remember which video, that I'm thinking to do, or that I was thinking to do a month ahead binder starting in May, and I decided I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do it, and kind of figuring out how I'm gonna do it, and kind of go more into why I'm doing it and everything later. But so I bought some month ahead savings trackers from an Etsy store. It was $5.70, so I'm gonna round that up to $6. So let me just do the 10 and take back $4. So we got 22, 24, 26, 28. Okay. That looks like everything. So let me take out $100 that I started in here for making change. And I should have $754.07, so $754. So I got 500, 600, 650, 670, 690, 710, 730, 740, 2, 7, 44, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 755, so perfect. Let me get set up for doing cash stuffing. And just to show my little handy dandy cash planning sheet. So I'm gonna stick this up here so that I can reference it. And up first, I'm gonna start with just the regular cash stuffing, and then at the end I will do, actually no, I'm gonna do it the other way around. I was gonna start with the regular and do the business at the end, but let me start with the business binder. So I have 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 85, 95, 97, 98, $99. I made $99 and like 84 cents, but I don't do anything specific with the change. I just add it to kind of my keep the change thing, and you need a budget, and then if I round up or round down, I add subtract to it. So So for equipment, since I depleted this to help pay for my ticket to the convention, I'm gonna add in $25 to start this over. And then for HP ink, I'm gonna add in 11. So I've got 25, 26, 27. So that's should be about 3 months worth of ink, because they just increased the price per month a little bit. So I think it's gonna be like $8 and some change, so rounded up to $9. And this way, like if I have like a month where I don't really make any money from Etsy, then I've got a few months worth of money to cover it. Materials, I am gonna add in 10 to cover what I took out earlier. So now we are back to 100. And then shop small, I'm gonna add in 12. So we got 20, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, which is not gonna last very long because I'm pretty sure later today I am gonna go buy something on Etsy because I wanted Court from Cash Counter's Court just put out this Star Wars savings challenge, and she's running a sale, so I want to go buy it. So I wanted to make sure I had the money in here before I bought it. So taxes, I decided to do 25% in here, since I'm, like I mentioned before when I took the money out to pay for the convention ticket, I'm pretty sure that I'm having enough taken out tax-wise through like our regular payroll, like through my daytime paycheck and stuff, to cover any self-employment tax and regular taxes that I owe for Etsy and YouTube. So I think I shouldn't need actually to have to pay any additional taxes, but I'm still gonna put money in here just to keep doing a little bit less. So I'm gonna do 25. That way I have it just in case I need it, but if I don't, then I'm not putting quite as much in here. So I got 100, 20, 45, 52, 53. And YouTube Premium is gonna get the rest since I just depleted. So we got 15, 17, 18. Okay, and then for our cash stuffing for our regular weekly pay, we've got 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000, 100. So 1,100, 200, 300, 450, 470, 490, 510, 530, 550, 570, 590, 610, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 580, 590, 1,700, 567. So $1,707. I don't know that I asked how everybody was doing, other than I'm saying happy Friday / happy Sunday. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Let me see, so up first for dates, we had 20, 40, 65, 60, 75. So at 75 and 50 is our rollover. So I'm going to take the 25 out that we didn't spend and then put $25 in for the coming week. So we still have 75. Eating out, got 50, 70, 80, 95, 96, which our cap for rollover is 100. So gonna keep everything in here, and we're gonna add $60 for this coming week. So we got 100, 20, 30, 40, 55, 56. So 156. Groceries, we got 50, 60, 70, 82, 84, 85, 86, and 75 is our rollover. So 50, 60, 70, so we got $11 that we're gonna take out. We're gonna add in $80 for this coming week. So we got 50, 100, 20, 30, 40, 52, 4, 5. So 155. My food, since I did not go into the office this week because I was off on Monday, as you know, we're kind of getting home and settled in from our trip, so I'd planned to take Monday off. I worked on Tuesday, but I worked from home and I was horribly sick. And then I've been off the rest of the week, so I did not go into the office to eat out. So got my $15 I'm gonna set aside. I will add $15 for this upcoming week, which I'm planning to go in. Most likely, we're supposed to go in 3 days a week, so most likely I'll probably go in 3 days. My manager was really sweet and let me work from home a little bit more often with everything going on with DJ's brother, because we never knew like if we'd have to run over, and I wanted to be able to be available to help out with anything and stuff. So I was working from home a little bit more often this last month. So now I get to go back in 3 days. So we're gonna add in $10 for spending. So we got 50, 60, 75. And then for our Friday challenge, this is from Becca at Becca Budget 777. Since today is the 11th, add in $11. So we got 100, 200, 20, 35, 37, 39, 40. So $240. And then in our 2025 challenge, also from Becca at Becca Budget 777, we are going to add in $71. So 50, 71. So we got 143. So we are gonna do the 22, the 17, the 9, and the 23. And then up next, we've got our Save $10,000 challenge, and this was, so I went back and looked at the company on Etsy, or the store on Etsy that I bought it from, and so I had read this as Amazing Alio, but it's actually Amazing Ali Co. So yeah. Amazing Ali Co. Was the creator of this lovely box challenge. So I have her store linked in the description below. And so today we are gonna save $370. So 1, 2, 3, 50, 70. We got 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 20, 40, 50. So $750. So means we are finishing this first one today. So we're doing the 95, the 125, and the 150. Actually, take all of that out. Take section 1 out. And we'll start on section 2 next week. And I will get that money invested. Let's see, in our home binder, got our 125 that we're adding into home projects. So I talked to our retaining wall guy this week or at the beginning of the week, and he said he thought he would be able to start on our actual, actually taking down our old retaining wall and putting up the new retaining wall next week. So this coming week. So starting tomorrow for when you guys see this. So he didn't know exactly which date because he was working on another project this past week. So, but hopefully maybe by the end of this week, he'll have at least started tearing down our old wall and maybe starting to build the new wall. Super excited. So I'll probably start seeing this money depleting in the next few weeks. So we got 10,000, 15,000, 16,000, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 17,000, 20, 40, 60, 75, 85, 87. So $17,087, I think. I forgot to write them down. So, and then roof, we're adding in 25. 25. So we got 150. And then our long-term sinking funds binder, we're adding 125 to new car, which, depending on what's going on with tariffs and such, new car for us won't be happening probably anytime soon, because I would rather not have to pay more for a car than I need to pay. Even a used car, and used car prices are going to go up if new car prices go up, just like they did during COVID. So I told DJ, I was like, if my car dies or gets to the point where it's not reliable anymore or anything, I was like, and prices have skyrocketed for cars, I was like, I'll go without a car for a little while. So got 500, 600, 700, 20, 40, 550. So 750. We did that for a little while. So DJ's car, his old car, he slid on ice on Christmas Eve in 2020, 2021, one of those, I can't remember. I think it was like 2020. And we weren't going very fast because it was icy. It was night, like 10, 11 o'clock at night. We were driving from his parents' house back to our house on Christmas Eve. And the light ahead of us had been red. And there was a car, an SUV stopped at it. Well, the light had turned green, but the car that was stopped was also on ice, so it couldn't actually start going because it had nothing to grip onto. And DJ tried to stop and there was nothing to grip onto, so he's like honking to be like, I'm coming. And of course, like, they took it as like that we were honking at them to like go. So we hit them and the guy got out of the car about ready to fight. And I understood, like, you know, nobody likes to get rear-ended, especially on Christmas Eve. And they had a baby in the car, like a relatively young baby. But you know, everything was fine. They had some minor damage, but DJ's car ended up being totaled. It was an old enough, the damage, they probably would have fixed it if it was a newer car, but it was a 2005 car, so it was like 15 years old. So they were just like, yeah, we're just gonna total it. And we were surprised because we had to pay, they took our deductible out from what they gave us, so we kind of expected not to get anything, and they actually gave us like $1,500 or something like that for it, and we were like, well, that's more than we thought. So we were able to you know, save that money, and we actually, had enough saved that we probably could have bought a new car, or like a new to us car, a used car, without having to, or at the time we didn't have enough saved. We had a little bit saved, but over like the next 6 months, we saved up money to get a new to us car in cash. But then when we went and bought DJ's car, the interest rate ended up being like 1 point something %. So we just decided to finance it, and then we paid it off in like 2 years. So it was kind of just worked out. But we went for like 6 months where he just drove my car every day, and I was working from home fully at that time because it was still during COVID. And so he just took my car every day, and then I just did the stuff that I needed to do either when he was home or, you know, when he was home. The hard part is just like, even though I hardly ever went anywhere when he wasn't home, just feeling like you couldn't go anywhere just kind of sucked. So I kind of hated it, but I was like, you know, it's not like I couldn't do it. And now with like Uber and Lyft and stuff, like it's so much easier to get around. So for Mini Mondays, I'm gonna add in $50. So we're gonna play that shortly after this. Our travel binder is getting $125. Our long-term savings binder is getting $365. So $365. And then our debt binder is getting $250, plus it is going to get what we didn't spend this last week. So we got 20, 30, 45, 51. So basically we're gonna end up with 301 to put towards our debt binder this week. So super exciting. I did condense this, but it's still pretty full. So yeah, so that is everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That is the things. And I will see you guys in the next video.